Okay, everybody, thanks for being back live again with the crew. Tonight, we have a special show for everybody leading up to a great event that's coming up at the end of this month, being September. We have two of the, I'm going to say, well, Jeff, what are you? Are you the guest host? Are you one of many hosts of this Silver Symposium?
Well,
and
I will say that it's predominantly Patrick's event. He's the MC. Patrick, he's leading everything. Dylan and I are going to be there with a booth for economic preppers. I'm going to be supporting Patrick as his right-hand man. We're all three of us will be on stage at some point, but Patrick's the main guy, and he's going to be in high demand. So any spillover demand will come to Dylan and myself. That's pretty much how we think it's going to flow. But you never know with these things.
Yeah. Okay, and Dylan, what's your role in all this? You're going to be obviously a wingman here and helping out, but
no, he's not the wingman. He's the model that we put on stage. He's the guy we're like, hey, have them look at you, Dylan.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's an event, it's we have to show up, and we can't. The idea is not to be passive, but the idea is to make an impact and get as many people, if not everyone, to remember us in a positive way, or a way that makes them think and question the things around the topics that we talk about. So while we're there, we are one as the economic preppers. We are one vendor or one booth out of many. Our goal is to be the most well-known, well-liked, and most informative booth for people making decisions following this event. So my goal is to help with that and help deliver on that. And of course, support Patrick and make sure the event goes well as best as possible. But to show up and give everyone what they want, just fantastic information.
Yeah. There's so many of my followers that have talked about are going to be there. I'm so excited. I can't even believe how many have chimed in and said, yeah, I already got my ticket. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Say that last year, I wanted to go so bad it just didn't fit into my schedule, and I was like, Idaho's kind of a long ways out of the way, or was it Montana or Idaho? I think it was Idaho. And I was like, well, I wish I'd get it somewhere closer. Literally, the moment I heard it was in Vegas, I know Jeff, I booked it 6 months ago. I think I was somewhere in there. So yeah. I'm so excited about the whole thing. It's my kind of people, you know what I mean? Every time I talk to you guys, I've been on your show, I think only just once, but every time I talk with people that express the need for sound money, I just feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who gets it, who's, got a high IQ, possibly most of them, about monetary systems. And I really want to kind of get from all three of you what it is you see coming, okay, in a nutshell, or what would you say our current situation financially is and where it could lead to soon. And with that, I'll start with you, Jeff. What do you got for me?
Well, I look at the short term and the long term, and I think basically like starting in 2025, I think we start rebuilding. But the problem is getting there. And I think that we've got a long 14-ish months to get to November 2024, which a lot of people are waiting for many reasons. But it's going to be problematic up to that point. We have every economic factor going in the wrong direction. Inflation, CPI, you name the metric, it's bad. Like the real estate's bad. The finance is bad. Banks are bad. And it's not, the outlook is not good. Unemployment, everything. So it's going to be a struggle. And I think that people are looking for safe havens now. And like there are a lot of people that are coming to this event that are just like looking for alternatives. How do I preserve the wealth I already have? Not just a get rich quick scheme, but how do we take the wealth and preserve it? So that's where precious metals and Bitcoin are aligned, because you're out of the fiat system and you're kind of on the sidelines at the very least and saying, well, a dollar crumbles like what's going on in Argentina now and many other countries, the dollar's not far behind. So while that starts to die off and the BRICS nations start doing whatever trades they're doing and OPEC and so on, we're seeing what's happening. But the action you could take is saying, well, if you've got to get wealth, store some of it in these mechanisms, not financial advice, of course, but these are ways that other people and the wealthy have done in the past when we see troubling times ahead, which is what I see coming.
Yeah, all the warning signs are really there, aren't they? Patrick, what's your top 2-3 points as far as how would you protect yourself over the, let's say, the next 6 months to a year? Maybe not 5 years out, but soon. How are you protecting yourself and your finances and your family's whatever you've accumulated so far?
Oh man, okay. Thank you. First of all, my voice is like almost gone. I have been talking so much, so I'm going to do my best to answer. But
yeah,
honestly, first and foremost is protecting my family, and I can't do that without a firearm. So the first thing I always say is learn how to use a firearm. The book we were just writing, I put in my favorite firearms for what reason and why. And if you haven't heard about that, we're writing a book, Economic Preppers book, that we're just having fun together, sharing our knowledge. But one is have a weapon, learn how to protect yourself if it comes down to it, because it doesn't matter what you have after that. If you don't have a weapon, if you don't have a way to protect and defend your family, they're going to come and take it anyways. So it doesn't matter what you have. The second thing that I would say is unequivocally is Bitcoin. I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, and I really believe in its value proposition. If something doesn't happen in the U.S. the way I like it to, I can leave with my Bitcoin. So that's a number 2. Bitcoin allows me many options into how I protect my family. Option 3, community. It's community. Without our community, we have no idea what's truly happening. Like boots on the ground. Twitter X has become such a huge thing for us to get real on the ground information immediately all over the world. And you and I both have someone that we call and we say, hey, Dylan, Jeff, did you guys hear that this happened? And Jeff goes, nope, that's fake news. Here's what's really happening. It happens a lot when I talk to Jeff. Or, you find out, yeah, man, let's get on top of this. Because the reality is, if you don't have a good community, you won't be prepared to react. And you can't do it alone. So these are the things we address in our book. But that would be my top 3. First is, I like to say, I believe in God and Glocks.
Love it. Yeah. Big fan of both of those. Dylan, on the third phase of this question here, what is it you think that most people, let's even say that they're preppers, or let's say that they're maybe even, they're just dipping their toe into sound money and understanding what it means and everything that, Jeff and Patrick have just explained. What is it that beyond that, the little intricate parts to investing that maybe they could follow up on or really check into or look into your guys' show about and find out more about?
Okay, so there's a lot there. Just like the first thing, since we're talking about sound money, and if we're talking to someone who's new in this space, I like to think about it as, the big game that's played is asset and resource allocation. Real asset and real resources. And the trick that's been played on people when we talk about the dollar being money is falsely associating that with a real resource and a real asset. Right? It is in my mind, a Trojan horse resource and asset that allows a centralized party to manipulate it at will sometimes for your benefit as a holder, but most of the time for your loss. Right? And we see it over time. And so once you understand that, you can start looking for different avenues and real money, like we talk about all the time on the show, things like Bitcoin, gold, and silver, things that can't be manipulated by a central party. And that's one of the reasons why we talk about things that you can actually hold custody of. So I have this troy ounce of silver right here. I just like having this on my desk. But there's all these different derivatives and things that paper forms of silver, of gold, of even Bitcoin. And if you're just getting started or you're thinking about this, we had a client come to us the other day that was looking to buy Bitcoin, didn't know where to start, was a little confused, and was going to go buy a bunch of it, but he was going to end up buying a paper form of it, not real Bitcoin that he couldn't custody. And so the tip there and the thing to consider is when you do that, you're really exposing yourself to counterparty risk to someone else, and you're opening yourself up to manipulation. And when you think about it, when the time is that you're in need and you need to be able to access the stuff, you have to ask someone else for that permission to get it. And they may not always give you that permission. Or even if they do, the pipeline from where that asset is to where you need it to be, that time frame might be too long. And so we tell people to really prepare and to be strategic is to get self-custody of these assets, of these real monies, gold, silver, Bitcoin, so that you have it when you need it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, I love that answer. It's so true. We've gotten, well, the last legacy system that we're all trying to get out of relies on paper and derivatives. And, when the music stops and you're looking for a share, you're going to get in line for the paper line instead of having the asset in your hand or on your laptop or wherever you're going to store, your digital. So
it's even worse, Alan, because sorry to interrupt there, but I think that we're looking at a digital form of that same paper. They're going to try to eliminate cash and push you into central bank digital currencies, but this is part of the education. The self-custody, I'm glad Dylan mentioned that because that's paramount. We want to make things as easy as possible. We expect a lot of people to be there that are silver bugs, but they want to learn about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and learn how to get into it. So that's why we're bringing our own wallets and we're teaching people. We're doing a ballet workshop Friday night, and we're going to be teaching them that. And so you're going to see silver and gold transformed into Bitcoin in real time because there's going to be a Bitcoin broker there that's going to be doing it. So the subtitle of this Silver Symposium is really the Silver and Sound Money Symposium. So that's going to be a lot of the conversations we're talking about self-custody and having any form of financial wealth preservation outside of that dollar system.
Personal responsibility for your own wealth is so huge, and I hear it in all three of your voices tonight. Let me ask, since everybody's brought up Bitcoin, is anybody in the house an XRP fan at all?
Yes, I am.
Nice.
Okay, Patrick.
What? I don't really want to know whether or not you own any of it.
I do.
No
disclosure. I own some. Disclosure. That's fair.
Disclosure. Okay. Good.
I put myself up there. I'll tell you this. I consider myself an early investor in XRP. I diversified my Bitcoin rewards early on. I got in super, super early, had no clue what I was doing because there were not very many options anyways. It's not like you had 1,000 coins to decide from. And I understood how it worked, and I did figure out how to play around with it. And I would consider myself among those who would say XRP Army, XRP Whale. I mean, me, Cryptos R Us, I Am George, Ninja, we love XRP.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, just a little background, Patrick. How early? Now, I know you were in crypto before I was, and so what year were you talking? You're an OG, big time.
I wouldn't say big time because I know people who I would consider OGs. So there's always a bigger OG out there, I guess. There was a lawyer at one point who asked me if I knew who Satoshi Nakamoto was in court, and I responded, no. And she asked me, did your Bitcoin come from Satoshi? And I said, yes. And so this whole game ended up with me educating the judge about blockchain. And she said she was not going to pay me for my time. So I was on early. 2015 was when I started having fun with it.
15, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. That was a couple of years before I got in, actually. I started studying about it in 16 and really started investing early 17.
I mean, when I got into XRP, it was still way below like 0.00 something. 0.006, something like that, during a Bitcoin pump.
Yeah, I remember pre-2 cents for sure. Was when I first heard about it.
That's how my brother got into crypto, is because I gave him some XRP and some Bitcoin, and I gave him XRP for his birthday right around when it was, pumping up into the $3, just right before that. So he was like, what is this? And I was like, it's time to take some profits, is what I told him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Would have been good advice too, right? So,
that's why that's a good learning experience. It's a good exposure. It's decentralized, and they're having problems shutting it down. Even with a company representative, they can't still shut it down. I mean, have fun.
Yeah. And now that the BIS and everybody else has come on board, and it's just amazing to me how, like, from back even my early days, the fundamentals have changed. It's not just the hype anymore. Oh, this new wallet's out or this new coin's out. The fundamentals of the old legacy system almost seems to me like they're playing catch up. The thing that really kind of saddens me a bit is that we're sort of containing our system and trimming it up and kind of making it more like theirs, so it's easily adopted and go from a credit card to a wallet. And some of that really worries me because it's not really the original idea.
Yeah.
The original idea is to get out of legacy, and now we're trying to adapt all these different systems so it can play in the old system and the new system just to make it easy for the new people. And I think it's a breach. I really do. And I'm a little concerned in some areas. That's what I love about XRP. What I also love about Bitcoin is I really believe those two coins, I don't care what they try to do to them. They're already established. They're already there. Like you just said, good luck. I just don't see.
Are you a Monero fan too, Alan?
I am a huge Monero fan.
Okay, let me take another guess what you like.
But I have to say I don't own a hold. Well,
None of us own any. None of us own any of it.
Boating accidents, Alan. You have plenty of boating accidents. I know you.
Yeah, I remember this one time Alan took me on his boat, and then something happened.
I don't know what happened to it.
It was a crypto boating accident. It happens all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah. No, I own a few. Well, I used to own a few before the accident. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Exactly.
I used to own a few coins.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for your loss.
I know, it's been tragic. Let's get back into the show a bit. I'm so excited. Of course, everybody's favorite author is going to be there. If you know anything about Sound Money, I don't know how you guys persuaded him to be there. Yes, there it is. Yes, I have recommended that book. I think I've done over 250 shows now. I think I've recommended that book a dozen times or more. And everybody who's read it has come back to me and just said, wow, that taught me what money is and the manipulation behind it. Yeah. In that order. What is money? And then who's manipulating? Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Patrick gets all the credit there. The Mr. MC unleashed his charm on Giaber Griffin and his family. Got them there. I believe it's their anniversary weekend, but they're still coming to the event. He doesn't make many appearances outside of Jekyll Island. I think he goes there once a year, but we got him at our event, and I think there are plenty of opportunities to say hi to him both Friday and Saturday before he has to leave.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah, we actually just launched a ticket where if you have the VIP, like the all access VIP ticket, you can actually sign up to have lunch with G. Edward Griffin. I haven't actually put this on the show yet, but it's actually going to be a really reasonable ticket too. Like $50, you have lunch with G. Edward Griffin. So just a little time together. Yeah, we're ready to have fun with him. He's a cool dude. He's really nice. And he was excited to talk to the crypto community. He's excited to be, he was like, why do you want me so bad? I said, I don't understand why you don't get it. Like, I just learned about you 2 years ago. I really thought dollars were backed by gold. Did you know that it took me a while to learn that The Creature of Jekyll Island wasn't a horror movie and a book that was like derived of a horror movie? I thought it was a book about monsters, and Mr. Griffin, it's not. It's a real place. Real things happen.
With real monsters.
And I said, people want to know. They still think the dollar is backed by gold. They don't know.
You can certainly classify the attendees at Jekyll Island as monsters in some regard.
Yes, technically they're monsters. Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
I can see like an Oppenheimer-like movie.
Yeah. That would be brilliant if Hollywood had ever had the stones to make a real movie about the economy, wouldn't it?
Closest is The Big Short. That's the one I usually recommend.
Yeah, that's right. That was good. Wall Street, that was pretty clear. I used to be a broker way back in the day, guys. I became a silver bug in early 80, and I was paying margin calls by 1981. Had futures contracts, and it was a mess. So it really inspired me to learn more about it way back when. And then I was like, forget it. I'm going to become a stockbroker. That's my whole goal in life. And as soon as I even got close to being successful at it, I was like, I can't steal from old ladies. That's just not what I'm going to do for a living. I just can't do it. I don't know how they stomach it, but that was different then. And then the 87 crash happened. And so that really kind of took the legs right out from underneath my stool. So let's talk about some of the other people and what people should expect. Because I have a lot of people. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to say probably 100 people have told me they're going to be there from my channel. What else are we expecting there as far as, I wanted to ask about the coin. Somebody sent me a video that you did with Ninja the other day, Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea that it had Bitcoin on it. And it's going to be kind of funny to see some of the XRP Army people now deny that they don't own Bitcoin after they have the coin. I thought that was going to be kind of fun.
Man, that was so much fun. I have no idea what happened. It just happened too fast. The good news is I could tell you this. I am working with Ninja, and, what can I say? We will be releasing a coin that I will be minting in partnership with Ninja, and it will be an XRP coin.
Nice. I just know my 16,000 subscribers just really enjoyed that last sentence.
Oh, no, I'm serious. It's not just going to be cool. It's going to be everything that I wanted to make in this last run that I couldn't afford to take all the expenses on and didn't know if this would work. I had no idea if, it was like 2 days and no one bought anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I put it in my physicals group and no one's like, who would buy that? It's too much money. Lower the price. I'm like, guys, you don't understand how much it costs to make these things.
That's right.
And then next thing you know, they're sold out. Jeff and I were just laughing. Yeah. I watched Dylan just telling me, because we weren't ready to accept payments. I needed Dylan's help. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Dylan's like, Patrick, money's coming in, telling me it's coming in. And I'm going, crap, I needed to sell so many rolls so I can make my bills to pay everything off. And it did. So the XRP coin that we're making for XRP Army Army better get ready, because we're about to lead a different way forward here with XRP.
That was my favorite part of the whole video, actually. I was just like, they did what? Like
a silver coin, 1 ounce silver loaded with XRP on it. And I'm pretty sure we're going to go with 100 XRP loaded on it.
That is such a brilliant idea, guys.
Thank you so much.
I don't know where you guys came up with that, but that is incredible.
Well, it came up from here. Elias Ahonen.
Okay.
Book. All about physical Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I met a guy at a Litecoin summit. His name was Andre, and he's now one of my business partners in this venture. Everything we do goes through him. He's my designer. He worked with me on everything. He knows exactly what qualifies as the best standard for these coins, because he owns them. He's been a collector, and he hooked me up with Elias, who's coming to speak at our event. So it's just all kind of happened, and I couldn't say no. It just, I had to keep saying yes.
Isn't it cool how the universe or God works? It's just all of a sudden taps on your shoulder, and it's like, you hadn't thought of it 5 minutes earlier, and then all of a sudden it's just perfect plan. Just like instantly, people come out of the woodwork for me just like that. And I'm sure all of us in the space.
Yeah, if you guys are like on Twitter too, tag me and let me know if you really want this, because I'm struggling to figure out, do I make a few of these? Or do I make a lot of these? Like, how many should I make? So if you guys let me know if you want some of these, it'll help me gauge how big I go on this, because the bigger I go, the less expensive I can make it.
Well, I think at this time of the silver being reasonably priced, I'm going to call it, at this day and age, who knows how much longer, and XRP being under, right around 50 cents, it just mathematically makes sense that you could pull it off. It does. Any more than that, and I don't know, I think it would be quite pricey for some of my followers, but as a collectible, I think it's a brilliant idea. I really do. Really good idea. Yeah. Jeff, sound like you had a question?
I did not. If I did, I forgot it now. But
I
Okay.
was just going to say something on the product. You know, like you mentioned, Patrick, about the coins. I, I think there's a huge potential with that product, what it is, and I think the surface is just barely scratched with that potential. You know, just the implications of just how fast those things sold out, and you know how quickly we had to put the things together for that, and how very loose of a campaign, if you could even call it that, that was done around it. Like there's a real demand for something like that, and then you combine the collectability of that, and how, since you're talking about XRP, how like ravenous the XRP army is. That's something that there's a lot of untapped potential in this space. And just to tie it back, you know, since we're talking about sound money, future uncertainties, you know, economic prepping, one of the things that I always like to talk about and tell people is, you know, don't proceed into these times of uncertainty with fear. When there's uncertainty, there's opportunity. And if you can find those opportunities and you can create ways to add value to people's lives, you're going to end up better off at the end of that than people who just hid, right? And so this is one of those things that this is a potential gold vein of tremendous opportunity where you can help a lot of people not only like get something that they're interested in or like, but also understand the principles of sound money, understand things about blockchain, understand things about Bitcoin, connect with the community, and have something that they can identify with. And people are going to be looking for that. I think it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Patrick hit on several markets that were really like kind of all meshing together. You have the collectible market, you have the silver market, you have, or the physical metals market, then you have the crypto market, and the people that, like the fourth one, which is the biggest one, which is the people that one of their main objections to cryptocurrencies, like it's not tangible. Like, well, that just changed. So now you can literally hand someone 0.001 Bitcoin with Patrick's coin that he just released, and there goes that objection. That's part of the beauty of having a physical cold wallet like that.
It's such a great point, Jeff, because it people like to hold things in their hand and they like to look at it, obviously, because that's the way, if you will, the third dimension that we're coming out of, if you will, in the industrial era. But people today also are really into multi-purpose. Like, everybody really loves the idea of crypto because of its functions, its functionality, not because it just sits there like gold. A coin just sits on the counter and just gets old. Like, I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love it. And I have invested before the Voting Act. And I invested in some of that stuff. It sank somewhere. I don't know where it's at. But anyway, it's so important in today's world because we have the younger generation who's really generations, plural in my case, below me, who are really looking to invest. They're not going to invest in bonds. They're just not going to do that. I'm sorry. That boat's already sailed. But what's going to happen is they're all going to be on their phone. And they're all going to say, hey, wouldn't it be kind of neat to get something physical? Maybe I could buy it for my mom and introduce her to crypto. She's a silver bug. She's a gold bug. She's a whatever. I can buy her this coin for Christmas or birthday gift or whatever and say, hey, Mom, by the way, that thing has Satoshis on it or XRPs on it. You know, brilliant. I mean, I'm really impressed. I really am. And
thank you.
I think it's going to go really well.
It was so much fun. You know how many no's I got along the way? And there were days, Jeff can tell you, man, I was just so bummed out. It wasn't working. Nothing was working. Just no matter what you tried, it wouldn't work. And then all of a sudden, one day, you met Rob Goodman, and he has connections, and he saw my vision and shared my passion. And, you know, I'm helping him, he's helping me, and we're creating really awesome stuff together, including this event where we're finally bringing crypto and Bitcoin into the discussion with precious metal. And we're having items to have discussions around it all at the event. They're going to be releasing the coin there. People will be able to pick them up. I've already known the coin is being sold on the secondary market for way above what they bought it for. So I have no idea what they'll go for.
Yeah.
We have there's a waiting list of people just signing up to get. There's hundreds of people so far just to get more information on those coins or to find out if there's more coins available. Hundreds.
Hundreds. Nice. Is there, okay, let's get back into the show. Are there more tickets?
Okay.
You can still buy tickets to the show, correct? Okay.
Yes.
And
There's multiple ways to attend now too. If people have travel plans or can't get to Vegas, you can also attend and watch the main stage via Zoom as well.
oh, cool. And we're gonna have all those links down below. Our good friend's gonna put those down below for us. And now? That's just going to be a pay-per-view deal, or is it going to be a couple of months down the road open to the public, or how is that going to go?
Patrick, you want to explain how the Zoom's set up? I think it's just, if you get the link to watch the main stage, and you also have the ability to submit a question that, like, not all questions will be answered, but you can be able to via Twitter
Through X,
to submit questions that we can take to persons that have time to take questions on the stage.
Oh, okay. All right. So there will be a fee for the Zoom link.
Yes. Like a ticket, and you can also, like, there's a premium ticket that you'll get your ounce of silver as well, and it'll be mailed to you instead of just so you can just.
I think those are almost out, by the way. I think there's like 20 left.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Get on
You
it.
gotta stay current with this. It really sells quickly.
Yeah. Somebody sent me that video yesterday, and I was like, I'll bet they're sold out already by the time I saw the video. Yeah. It was such a great idea. So, okay. I know what it takes to put a show on like this. This is amazing, guys. All the guest speakers and facility and everything else. And I was blown away at the attendance price to this for general admission was ridiculous. And I'm really proud of the three of you for keeping the price down so the public can actually get there. For the people that we want to be prosperous in the future and their families and do the best they can for their families. They can't afford these big, exorbitant prices, Some of these shows are, I can't afford to go to. It's just crazy.
Well, we're going to do even better next time. I mean, Vegas we've learned a lot. Vegas isn't conducive to keeping a cost-effective event. The way it's happening is we're losing money. That's how it works. There's no way we can pay for the food with the amount of the tickets. So we're learning to do it differently, and we want to. That's why we created the Zoom option. I wanted a way to get the content, the message out to everyone. I've even said, buy a ticket, invite your friends and family over, and watch the live stage. I don't care if it's 100 of you at your church. Do it there. Just get the word out. Yeah. How does that help us make money? It doesn't. We are not good at that. So we're going to lose money. It's probably going to happen. But we're going to put on good content. My brother will be there. He is not going to be embarrassed by one person I put on the stage.
No. Oh, no. No, I've seen the guest list. And anybody that's has not seen it, you should really look into the site. It will be down below. Amazing guest speakers, everybody. I'm looking forward to 3 or 4 myself. But you brought up a great point that I looked into putting in, just piping out a video and getting somebody to shoot it for 3 straight days of content is expensive. So I know what you've got into that. Just putting a Zoom.
Well, we also did that this year too. Economic Preppers, Dylan, you could kind of explain to them. You took on this whole project for us.
Yeah, the previous show or the previous event that we did.
With the recording of the crypto
BYOB.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a process.
That was the one down in Texas. You guys did?
We did an event in Texas a year ago, but we also just shot a special class that we created that Dylan's going to tell you about.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes. So, it is a lot to get just on the thing about the show. In your comment about keeping it affordable, because it's a lot. It's expensive to get to these shows and events and seminars, but the information, if they're put together well, like what Patrick's done, is extremely valuable. And so that's amazing for what people can do to attend, and it costs very little. They just got to show up and listen, and you're going to learn something guaranteed. Yeah. But putting on an event and doing anything around that, I mean, that's expensive. The costs add up so quickly for that. And just like what these guys were talking about, we flew out and we had a studio. Patrick was able to get us a studio in Oregon, and we filmed a course on BYOB, so be your own bank, where it talks a lot about the fundamental principles of how can you be self-sovereign with your money. We talk about primarily around Bitcoin, about how to acquire it, how to store it, and how to keep it secure, and a lot of things and topics around that area. And so that's something that we're going to be making available at the event if people are interested in that.
That's great. Yeah, it to get the audio right and the visual, it's a lot of work, and you need pros for that. And
we've been fortunate to be able. We've been fortunate to work with really good people, and that's really been a benefit, because I mean, the main thing of the reason we do these shows, the way we do the reason we do these classes and have these websites and do YouTube, as you know, Alan, we want to help people. We want to get the word out, and we want to be people that people can trust, that we've been here for a while. We've been doing this. Patrick started in 2015. I started in 2016, doing not much longer afterwards. But I mean, that OG line has kind of moved. It used to be like the Mount Gox thing. If you were before Mount Gox, you were OG. Yeah. Now it's kind of like before that Bitcoin fork. Now that's kind of where the OGs live. But you want to be like that trusted person, because we've seen so many people lose their money or have problems or struggle with like trusting bad actors. We want to help people to learn, because like the powers that be make it very easy to not self-custody your stuff. Put it in the bank, Zelle, the direct deposit, all that stuff. There's a reason it's so easy to do it that way. It takes a little more effort to go to the coin shop and get some silver. It takes effort to get a Bitcoin wallet. But once you do, like, my money's safe because I've got it in my possession.
And I do want to say something on that. It takes effort in something like Bitcoin versus something like the traditional financial system. That's opportunity, right? So if you're listening to that and you hear about, you got to set up a wallet, you got to set up an account, you got to figure out a way to transfer money. Those are all friction points that are going to be removed in the future. In fact, just last week, an announcement came out about, I think it was at FASB, and classifying Bitcoin as an indefinite intangible and not doing that anymore. So that changes how Bitcoin gets represented on the balance sheet in a positive way for corporations. So that's an area of friction that's being removed. And so these different areas of friction are going to be removed in the future. When they're all gone, well, you miss out on some opportunities. So if things are a little bit more difficult now, that means you're still early, and that means there's still opportunity in the future. That's
right. It's such a great point. We think we all get so tired of the retail price just doesn't go anywhere. And this has been the toughest bear market for me so far of the 2 or 3 I've been through, just because it's lasted so long. And there's been so much fundamental news that you think, well, why doesn't that, XRP's case was overturned, or, they won the initial ruling. And I thought that price is going to break its all-time high. And it didn't even break $1. And I thought, what's going on here? The retail just isn't there yet,
They're holding the price down as long as they can, because they don't want the dollars to leave into the Bitcoin market. That's as simple as that. Choke 2.0. It's the simplest explanation, and it makes the most sense.
Until they're ready to blow the Bitcoin or the crypto bubble.
We even heard recently now that the gold and silver coin shops, they're having issues with bank accounts. They really don't want fiat leaving that system.
I have a good friend of mine who's a bullion dealer, and he laughs and he says, "Oh yeah, well, it's only for gold. He mostly trades gold. It's only, $300 over spot, And everyone's laughing. He goes, "Yeah, that's good until you try to buy over 1,000 coins. Yeah. Then you cannot get them, period." Like, that isn't happening. Like, you have to wait months. And even then, you're paying double spot he was talking about to get anything over 1,000 coins. And I was like, wow, never heard of that before. Never in my lifetime. And I follow
to different people.
Yeah, I think if you come to the event, you might find some other brokers.
I'll hook you up with different people.
Mm-hmm. You can break that iceberg.
1,000 ounces of gold has been done with me. It's not a problem.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying, if you call somebody and you don't know somebody and you call a broker, good luck. But yeah, if you can connect I got a couple of people that probably like to hear what you have to say about it, for sure. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I could do 1,000 ounces of gold for Bitcoin and have it to you tomorrow.
Well, that was something I did a show on recently. I quizzed everybody. I said, well, what's the fastest, quickest way to buy gold?
Patrick Hakeem. No,
Well,
don't
that
come to
too,
me.
but-
I don't have gold to sell, really. I mean, there's
No.
always ways to get it, but the fastest way is your local shop. That's in my opinion. Local reputations with your networks is important.
Always
Well, I
start
meant-
there.
I meant payment, and the answer was Bitcoin.
Oh,
It's
yes.
funny
Oh,
that, yeah, it's funny that it's come to that because it's all the other payment avenues. You guys must remember when I first got into crypto. When you guys first got into crypto, you would watch a crypto video, and there'd be all the silver and gold bugs posting underneath, just saying, "Well, that's not real money. It's not this, and it's not that." And remember that they used to.
They're
just
still there.
hold
They're
that.
still there. It depends on your channel. They're still there. They're still fighting that battle.
I
They're
know.
losing fast.
And they're
I saw
losing.
Peter Schiff talking about that the other day.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just like I remember Peter's dad, okay, being a gold bug for God's sakes, and his son has finally bought Bitcoin, I think, or he owns crypto.
His son recently did a 180 and just went totally off the Bitcoin train, fully on this like weird like AI train.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, whatever.
real weird. Like
Whose
maybe
son, Peter?
yeah, Peter Schiff's son. He was, like you said, he was kind of counter to his dad, being pro Bitcoin, and he gained some influence in the community about that, just because Peter Schiff has been like a consistent voice against Bitcoin, but also a
But
voice for
he's
sound
not.
money.
He's not. He's using Bitcoin ordinals. Like,
Yeah.
how do you
I
use
know.
ordinals and not like Bitcoin? That doesn't
That's
even
right.
make sense.
Yeah,
Like, if
what
I
I'm
could have
talking
Peter
about.
Schiff on my show, I'd destroy you, Peter.
would just be good to have a conversation
Oh, yeah,
with
it's a
him.
lot. Yeah,
Some of the best conversations come from naysayers, and those are the especially people like myself and Patrick and Dylan who've been doing this for a while.
But he's
We've
a
heard all the
pretend
objections.
naysayer. He owns Bitcoin because he uses ordinals.
I'm just saying, Patrick, the best conversation come from like, give me your objection. Let's talk about it, and then I'll prove you why that's not right, or let's debate the properties of gold versus Bitcoin. These are good conversations that need to be out in the public, and we want those gold bugs to come and challenge us. Please challenge them.
Well, we
like,
have
I
Bill
learned-
Holter coming too.
Yeah, you learn
He
your
told
most
me he
when you
hates
get
Bitcoin.
when you get challenged on your knowledge. You either improve your knowledge or you prove your point stronger. So that's a really good conversation.
it is. One of the ones I still get all the time is, well, when the government pulls the rug on Bitcoin, I'm like, good luck. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Try and explain to me how they would pull the rug on that. Like, it's pretty comical.
They can't. Or the other one is like, well, what happens if all the power goes out in the world? It's like, all right, so like, I think worrying about Bitcoin or gold or silver are going to be the least of our worries if the power and the internet goes out over the entire globe. It's like,
but except for one thing, right? I'm off grid.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Okay. I'm off grid and I run a node. Hello, like, how long is the power going to be out? I don't care. My node's still going. Like, I can go a long time. So, power isn't going to be out that long. Yeah, that's
and
another.
you've got physical
There are
Bitcoin
people
on
who run
coins.
full core nodes.
coins.
Like, so many of us run full cores, and we do it because we believe in freedom and the idea that when you say you're going to shut down Bitcoin, there's about me and Alan and like 700 of us that are running full core nodes, not even mining Bitcoin, just to support the network. So
That's it.
should you try, I keep telling people, Elon is running it in outer space.
That's it. Good luck. Good luck. And I used to have these debates with high-level bankers, big-time people in finance 5 years ago, and almost all of them have done a 180.
Yeah.
I have one holdout who's an ex-CEO of GE, and he's just like, well, wait till the government gets done with that. And I'm just like, well, okay, 1 out of 10 isn't bad. The other 9 have completely converted. Like,
So-
they're like,
We started a website called satpulse.io. And I don't know if you've seen it, but satpulse.io is basically a site with all metrics. All it does is it measures everything against the price of Satoshis. So Satoshic value is all we look at. So if you want to talk about Bitcoin versus silver versus Bitcoin, or gold versus Bitcoin, or lumber versus Bitcoin, or Tesla versus Bitcoin, S&P versus Bitcoin. The narrative is simple. It takes you more sats to buy that product a long time ago. Tomorrow, it will take you less Satoshis to buy that same house. So increase your purchasing power by being empowered and know the information. The knowledge is there. Look at the charts. Bitcoin doesn't lose.
And don't get stuck on your coin. You know, whatever your coin might be. You know, don't get stuck on that one. Learn about all the other ones. Figure out why other people own other coins. There's a lot of good reasons for all these different networks. And I got a friend of mine.
I'm sorry, Alan, but I mean, this event is just like this is like the pinnacle place for these people, these differing opinions to come there, and it's okay to disagree. But just like when Pompliano was on CNBC 5-6 years ago, and he got like, hey, he eventually got people saying, hey, maybe 1% into Bitcoin. Now they're tracking it every day, and you get more and more into it. The point is that we're not. No one's ever going to be 100% right. But the point is that the silver people, the gold people, the Bitcoin people, and even the altcoin people, there's valid arguments to all of them. So having exposure to all four of those in the form of XRP or something else, having some silver, having some gold, having some Bitcoin, it makes perfect sense just to hedge your bets at the very minimum. And then if you want to put more into the one you love the most, so be it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so true. And
my wife would tell you I'm batting 100 or 1,000, whatever you call it, when you bat really, really well. That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing thousands. Lots. You
don't want to bat 100. Yeah. I have a very good friend of mine. He's another boat captain, and he's from Argentina, and you can imagine what the conversations are like with him. Yeah. And he says there's only 3 precious metals: Bitcoin, gold, and silver. And he goes, that's it. There's 3 precious metals.
I thought he was going to say lead is one of the 3, but we're not there in Argentina yet.
No, they're not there yet, thankfully.
Remind me of my friend in Nigeria who their currency was failing so quickly that Bitcoin was going for a 60% premium. They couldn't get rid of their currency fast enough to get Bitcoin before it depreciated in value.
Yeah. I think I just read somewhere where there's like 4 different nations where Bitcoin's never had a down year. Like only in US dollars does it go down.
I actually monitor that on SatPulse. Let me check.
Oh, do you? Very cool.
I measure Satoshis against all currencies. Not all, a bunch.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I'm really looking forward to this show. So much fun. I've been talking about it, and every time I bring it up on my show, I get more and more people in my comments. Hey, I'm going to be there, or where are we going to meet up, or we're going to have a good time.
Awesome.
So so the first night is the Friday night. What's happening Friday night?
That's Wallet Night. It's the Battle Light workshop that Dylan and I are going to be doing for people to learn how to use one of these wallets to store their crypto safely and securely. And Patrick's he's gonna MC that night, and there's like the rest of the nights. But Patrick, why don't you tell them about the rest of Friday night?
Yeah, so Friday night we'll start out with the Bitcoin and Brews. Just have a bunch of beers there ready for people to talk and engage as everything's going on. I'll open it up at 4:00, and we'll just start having a discussion about what's going on with physicals and with Bitcoin. Have Elias Ahonen speaking, coming in from Dubai, talking all about physical Bitcoin and physical cryptos and why we love silver and how Bitcoin is, a perfect marriage with that. G. Edward Griffin will be speaking that night, followed by us doing an Economic Preppers Ballet Vault workshop. And we'll have a little bit of Bitcoin giveaway there, sponsored by Simple Mining and Coin Trading Company. They're going to be hooking us up. And then we'll have an influencer panel with Ninja, uneducated economist, Joe Brown, closing, panel there. And then we'll be the Silver Symposium kickoff rally, which starts at 8:00. So that's the plan for Friday night. Saturday, you've got a lot of different stuff going from speakers like G. Edward Griffin and Ninja, Jack from Nobody Special Finance, a couple of companies that are featuring and sponsoring the show as well, just talking about what they're doing to educate their investors as well. And then we also have a lunch that's going to be hosted for G. Edward Griffin. So that's a limited spot event if you have a VIP, the All Access VIP. And then we have Simon speaking on stage, uneducated economist. We have that afternoon we have Joe Brown from Heresy coming as well to speak. So that's a big one. And then Sunday,
I love Heresy. Heresy Finance. Oh,
Joe Brown, Heresy Financial's coming, of course. Yeah. Love that guy, and just so glad he's coming, because I believe that, I like to say he's the next Robert Kiyosaki of our time. He just gets it. And he'll be doing a presentation all about the past and what money was and the future of money, what we see it going to. So that'll be mainly what he'll be talking about. And then Sunday, you've got a fun panel that we'll be talking about. It's a little special treat for you guys. It won't be available to anyone who's going to be attending because it's off the main stage, but stay tuned for that surprise. Andy Scheckman will be there. So it should be a really great time. Panels on the BRICS nations, Ryan Asp been talking about like some more gold stuff that people like for precious metals. And then of course, we're going to be talking about silver mining in the digital age of, gold mining. Rob Keynes, just having a lot of fun discussing gold, Bitcoin, silver, and tons of time to visit the vendors there and the exhibitors we've got there, like Simple Mining, who could teach you how to host Bitcoin miners if you want to mine Bitcoin or Litecoin or even other cryptocurrencies they set up. We have people like Coin Trading Company who are going to help us learn how to get Bitcoin out of the fiat system and into your wallets. So lots going on during the whole event.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. And I know everybody's going to be, and my group's going to be meeting up as many times as we can. By the pool, probably more than once. We're going to have a good time when we're all there. Okay.
Are you going to invite me to the pool? I like pools.
Do you like pools?
I do. I've been working out too, so I feel like I'm ready to show off my body.
Oh, wow.
As long as Dylan's not there, I won't stand next to Dylan because that was sad and pathetic. My work was nothing.
Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to tell everybody, my son's also going to be coming with me. So I will have the wingman, and we're really excited about having B-Man come along with us.
For those of you guys who are attending, please come up and say hi. I mean, if we're busy and like there's lots going on, say hi and introduce yourself to other people because everybody there is going to be thinking you may think you're isolated in the way you think. There's gonna be lots of people there that think the way you do, so you can make lifetime friends at these events. So say hi. We're looking forward to meeting you guys and looking forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, it's so important, Jeff, because I noticed the last show I went to, there was a lot of people that you could see, and they're kind of like pointing at you like, oh, I think I know who that guy is, but they were intimidated to come up or something. It's like, please, that's I mean, I'm on the camera every other day. So, I mean, I'm kind of used to people coming up or being out there. So I really appreciate people coming up. And I know the three of you are the same way because actually we met at another show and I remember you guys being very public. So don't be intimidated by these guys. They don't bite. They're good friends and they are family of the crew. All right, guys. So with that, I am out.